Okay, it looks like take two. I was talking to you guys, and all of a sudden everybody left. It just my phone shut off. First thing I want to do, since it's almost burned out, is I want to show you something that Teresa got me a few years ago. And let me sound. Sorry about the handshakes, guys. This is a backflow incense burner. You see the cone up here, and there's a hole in the bottom. And sorry, my hands are shaking, guys. There's a hole in the bottom up there, and the cone, as it burns, the smoke goes down through the center of the cone, and you can see it where it comes out the dragon's mouth, and then you can see it pooling down there at the bottom. Well, the incense cones are a different they're a different blend, and I can't remember what they put in there, but they make something to make the smoke heavier than air. So instead of rising, it goes down. And this thing is just so mesmerizing when you see. I'll sit here and stare at it for the whole time it's burning. It is just very, very cool. I love this thing. And Teresa got me for it. She's got it for me. She's got another one that I believe is like a house on a hill, and it might be a waterfall, and it's just absolutely beautiful. But I've always been kind of partial to dragons, and that's how come I married somebody whose Chinese birth sign is she was born in the year of the dragon. Figure that one out. So, but yeah, it's very, very cool. Okay, next thing I want to show you is I started making pop or caramel corn earlier today, and I was making the popcorn, and Teresa got me this several years ago, and I absolutely love this thing. This is the best thing we've ever found to pop popcorn in the microwave, and here it is. I don't know if you can see it very well, but down in the bottom there, it's got two lines, and it's got a half fill and a full fill. And when you fill it up to the top, if you use like Orville Redenbacher's, it will blow the top off. And here's the top, and you just pour your measurement of popcorn in the bottom, and you put the lid, and it just sits in there. And as the popcorn pops, that lid will raise up, and I've had it blow the top off before, which is kind of cool. But when I was making popcorn for the caramel corn, the first batch I did was about 8 to 10 cups, and I think I ended up with maybe 8 kernels of unpopped corn, which is just an absolute phenomenal ratio. So I think we got it through Amazon, and I absolutely love that thing. You know, you get older, and you get less impressed with products out. So when you find a product that is just so incredibly cool, you want to tell people about it. So another thing I want to talk about is my sounds like some of my family members are going through this too, and unfortunately they're too far away from me to really do anything. But I talk to them on the phone. But this time of year is the worst time of year for people with depression, because so many times people with depression that they see all this friggin' happiness going on around them, and they think that they're missing out, and it is so hard on them. I mean, you start thinking about family members you've lost, about friends you've lost. I still think about my granddad who died 35 years ago, and it's a very, very hard time. I mean, it's one of those where it's an extreme emotion. Either you're way, way up here or you're way down here. It seems like there's hardly anybody in the middle. So, what I'm asking of you guys is to watch all your friends and family. Make sure they're doing okay. And if you see something that it really gives you an uneasy feeling, you need to talk to them, or make sure they're okay. You don't have to get right in their face, but we don't want to lose anybody this time of year. It's probably the hardest time of year for everybody, and I work hard on not getting down, because, like, when I was a kid, granted, that was 50 plus years ago, but when I was a kid, I remember we would have these big Christmas get-togethers. The whole family would get together, like usually at my parents' house when they did. And, it was just something cool about this little tiny house with 30 people stuck in there. And, as time goes on, you start losing a lot of family members, a lot of families fragment. And it gets tough because that's one of the things that the media really pushes is this is family time. And, it's hard for people without family. There's a lot of people out there. So even if you see somebody that's lonely, if you know them, if you know they're gonna be by themselves, invite them over, or do something special for them. Years and years ago, I had a gentleman that used to come in to the liquor store all the time, and we became friends. Super nice guy. He was very abrasive, but once you got to know him, he was a very super nice guy. And things started going very, very wrong for him. And I I I was talking to him, and I found out where he was staying at. He was staying in a motorhome. He didn't have any electricity or any gas or anything. And at that time, the winter in Wyoming, it was well below zero. So when I got home that night, I talked to Teresa, and I was telling her about this gentleman. And she said, "Well, let me see what I got." And it was like, wow. So we started gathering up stuff. She started throwing food together. And I had a propane stove that I didn't, I had two of them, so I didn't need to. And then I had a second propane lantern. And, we had some extra blankets and a little of everything. And so we put together this gift pack, and we went over, and we found his motorhome. And I mean, it was just, he was parked across the street from a convenience store. He was probably about 300 yards walk. But, here's this guy about my age, and he's trying to trudge through this snow and cold and try to keep warm. And he doesn't have any heat or anything like that. So Tom was the type of person, he never showed a bunch of emotion. And it was just, when we gave him the stuff, he kept telling us that we didn't need to do that. And I said, yes, we did. And so did Teresa. And, here's this big guy about my size, and he's got tears running down his cheeks, and he couldn't believe that anybody did that for him. And it made us feel so good, but we felt bad that he was still stuck in this camper. And so when we got home, I had his ex-girlfriend's phone number, because when they were together, I'd call him and talk to him. And so I called her up, and she was just horrified. She did not realize what had happened. So she got a hold of his family, and a whole bunch of them got together, and they went out. They pulled him out of the trailer, and a few weeks later, he had passed out, and they found out he had cancer. But it was so cool because he was all by himself, and when we got him in touch with his ex-girlfriend, she put him in touch with his family, and he made amends with his children. And, it was just something very, very special to watch. And he passed away about a year later. But, it was just good to know that we actually did something that made a difference in somebody's life. I mean, to me, that's so much more important than how much money you make or, who gives the biggest gifts or anything like that. I mean, it's just, this time of year is so tough. Another thing, and it can be wonderful, I just don't want it to sound like I'm down on Christmas, but it can be very, very wonderful. Another thing I learned when I was running the liquor department is that, and you never hear people talking about it, but liquor sales just go through the roof for starting for Thanksgiving. And there's a little push for Halloween, a big push for Thanksgiving, and then you've got Christmas and New Year's coming up. And Christmas and New Year's is so tough because You got to get all of this stuff set up in the store for Christmas. And then the day after Christmas, you got to tear all that down and put up new stuff for Thanksgiving. You know, because for Christmas, you need displays of like wine and some of the mixer alcohols like Bailey's or Kahlua or stuff like that. And then for Thanksgiving, or for, excuse me, New Year's, you got to get stuff out like you got to get the sparkling wines out. Make sure you have plenty of the big beer, because there's a lot of beer drinkers. So, but one of the things I figured, you know, you see all these people coming in before the holidays, and they are just loading up. I mean, I remember one couple that came in the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and this is probably 20 years ago. But the Saturday before Thanksgiving, they came in, and they end up spending about $400 or $500. And then it was funny because I worked the first shift Thanksgiving Day. I worked from 8 till noon, and they were in Thanksgiving morning because they drank all that stuff they had, and they needed to get more. But you know, one of the things I discovered with holiday drinking is that people drink to tolerate their families. They don't drink to celebrate with them, or a lot of people do. I shouldn't say everybody. So, you know, just kind of want to give everybody my take on the holidays and everything. And you know, I get really excited because it's neat seeing Teresa smiling big and everything, and the dogs are just they kind of freak out because, you know, they don't know why all this happiness is going on. But I'm going to make this short, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day. And I really, really hope you do something nice for somebody else. And then I hope you do something nice for you. Remember to let friends and family know you're thinking about them, you know. That is very, very important. In fact, I got to call a couple people here when I'm done. So, but we will talk to you later. We love you guys. And everybody say, bye, Teresa. She couldn't hear me. So we will talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Bye.